to vacate the office. So when the litigation was mounted, with the former DG requesting to come back into the office, what we did was to clarify, based on legal guidance given, on what the import of that court order was. And that court order did not include vacating office. So my remaining in office was in order. Indeed, if at the time when the board was constituted and it came into office, if it had wished to substitute me for any of my colleagues who would have been more than able to handle the job, they would have done so. So I carried on performing the duties of acting DG until end of September, when a successful appointment was made. No court order was breached during that time. Indeed, the legal risk that persisted during that duration was very high, and I was able, through very diligent following up and not entertaining any adjournments, to actually have those governance-related matters concluded in slightly more than 12 months, about 12 or 13 months inside of COVID. So there was no attempt whatsoever to delay or derail that process at all.
Yeah. Chair, your statement. You see, Chair, by the time the nominee was being appointed as an acting DG, there was no proper board in that organization. As you said, her appointment came from the ministry. She was appointed by the then minister, Musheru. That is what is on record, Chairman. Unless otherwise she can give us proof that it is the board that appointed her. You have a board appointment or something. The fact of the matter is, at that point in time, there was no proper board that was properly constituted.
Chair, if I may, the State Corporations Act has some remainder powers which provides that where there is no board that is sitting and able to make a decision, the State Corporations Advisory Council kicks in for purposes of business continuity. As I indicated earlier, I was appointed by SCAC, and SCAC acted rightly in making that appointment given the circumstances and the situation of the day.
So these board members were acting on behalf of SCAC when they issued this statement in November 2019? Yes.
SCAC made the recommendation. Then we had a sitting chair, and we had the board members who hold office by virtue, who hold board membership by virtue of office. These are the representatives of the ministry, the representative of the treasury. These hold board membership in the authority by virtue of office. So those ones are permanent members.
Do they constitute quorum?
Yes.
But they did not constitute
Correct.
quorum. So the appointment by SCAC, made, as I indicated, on exceptional basis, is the one that was made under the State Corporations Act, because we did not have a quorate board.
Chair, the procedure of appointing the Director General of Communications Authority, you know it very well, Madam.
Yes.
SCAC has no role there. The procedure is well stipulated in law on how to appoint the board members of... I participated in crafting the Communications Authority Bill in the 11th Parliament. And it was a very rigorous and very well public participated bill, I remember, under the chairmanship of Honorable Jamle Kamau. So how to appoint the Director General of CA and how to appoint the board members of CA are very clearly stipulated in that law. So anything outside that is an illegality. And I know you're a senior lawyer, and that is even more senior, the chair.
Yes, so just to follow up on, she has used two words interchangeably, that she said first she was appointed by SCAC, then she said she was recommended for appointment by SCAC. So which is the correct position?
Okay. So allow me to really clarify this, because it is indeed not an illegality, and I would wish to clarify this. In April 2019, some members, the term of some members of the board expired and was due for renewal. New board members were appointed, and there was litigation challenging the appointment of the new board members.
Was that Kembe or Gituku?
That during Gituku's tenure. So upon that court order arising from that litigation, there was no sitting board, there was no quorate board capable of sitting and discharging the business of the authority from April 2019. The DG Wangusi's term came to an end at the end of August. There is still no sitting board because there is no quorum. What is to happen in a situation like that? This is where the State Corporations